Okay, Land Rover Discovery 3. This was actually our project vehicle that is now finally on the road. Actually, it's been on the road for about, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 kilometres. It started as many years ago. It sat in my yard with no motor in it, failed, and one of my mates seemed interested in it. So many years later, it's up and running. It's a bit of a neglected vehicle, 2007, and basically I didn't want anything to go wrong with it. So you name it, it's been done. So let's pop the bonnet. We'll have a look. And we'll go through it all. So, that's the engine. It's not really much to see. So it's the 2.7 single turbo. This was a low mileage one out of a Ford Territory. I think it was like a last model, so 2016. And I think this was one of the ones that only had something like 10,000 Ks on it or whatever. I can't actually remember. The vehicle itself has done about 200,000. So while I was prepping the engine, I don't know that you can particularly see it. No, you might not. Actually, I might get a torch. Let's go have a look. Let's get a torch. We'll see if we can't see. Okay. Yeah, you sort of can see it. So right down there with the torch, you can see the exhaust manifold. A little bit hard to see, but they've been ceramic coated. Same with the crossover pipe, and the first exhaust section has been ceramic coated. It got a new engine oil cooler, timing belts front and back, water pump, both tensioners, new alternator, new starter motor, brand new radiator, expansion tank. Obviously the top coolant outlet was done because that's a standard. The turbo hose was done. It got a big all alloy intercooler. So the standard intercooler on these is tiny. It sits underneath the radiator. The new one is full height in front of the radiator. Lower control arms, front prop shaft, the front diff was a rebuilt ZF one, new pads, new rotors, brand new tyres. These are 265/60 18s. All underneath. I was going to put it on the hoist for you, but it's the end of the week. It's got an aluminium bash plate under the auto. The whole underneath was all clean and spotless. It's got proud Rhino lift rods on it. It's got the silicone mud flaps on it. I was going to do a upgrade to Discovery 4 tail lights, but I like these better. I like Discovery 3 tail lights better. The solid colour looks really good. And all I did is put LED globes in them and LED globes in the reverse lights, which is great. Also, I was using it as a bit of a cargo hauler today, so my mate's going to fit the release, the inside release from Powerful UK. They have a kit. At the moment, I've just put a wire from the release mechanism. So that's all new as well. New locking mechanism. I put a new, I don't know if you can see it out in the sunlight, a new release switch. Now with these, if you buy the Disco 3 one, it's a complete unit, I believe, with this whole thing. It's ridiculous. So what you do is you buy a Discovery 4 release, and because the plug's different on a Disco 3, all you have to do is de-pin it and put the old plug from the Disco 3 onto it, and works fine. I had a whole pile of things, but basically, you name it, if I've ever done it on a Discovery 3 or a 4, I've replaced it on this. Brand new headlining got done because it was all sagging. Oh yeah, good one. That's the engine guard. That has a sensor on the actual cylinder head at the back, so it's a fairly accurate reading. That gives cylinder head temperature, the alloy head temperature. Everything else, we gave it a good clean up. My mate put a new head unit on it, and I installed just this afternoon, the EVC throttle controller. You don't actually need it. It's just hell fun. It doesn't give you more performance. What it does, it remaps the throttle and makes it incredibly, from performance or economy mode or auto mode, incredibly responsive. So you can just touch it. We did that for shits and giggles, honestly. It is fun. You put on performance mode and it just launches. But this has been tuned pretty hard. So there's not many vehicles that would, if you have to be a hoon, that would keep up with this off the mark. Anything like a Land Cruiser or a Ford Ranger, anything like, forget it. Not even close. ARB bull bar on it. Already had the xenon headlights. I think my mate wants to put some LED spotties rather than the indicators there. So that bull bar was all powder coated. That's about everything, really. Obviously, brand new battery in it. And when the headlining was done, mate got in there and put some like soundproofing stuff from let's go have a look, from Car Builders. I think I've taken pictures of this before. So Car Builders, look at the website. I think they've got a YouTube video as well, and this is their insulator, sound and heat insulation, peel and stick adhesive, suitable for roof skins and vertical surfaces. 6mm. Did the roof while the guys were doing the headlining. Yeah, it makes a difference. This Disco 3 is so quiet and so smooth. Drives fantastic. If I hadn't have already given it to my mate, I would have kept this vehicle for myself. It probably outperforms the 3-litre in a Disco 4. It performs so well. Yeah, it's about everything. So parts-wise, so about the only thing that wasn't done was the auto hasn't been rebuilt. So that's 5,000 or 6,000. Everything else, you name it, it got all new coolant hoses. I did a bit of a mod. I've got another video where it's talked about on the Australian Land Rover Owners Forum. Some of the mods we did there with regards to the cooling system. But basically, so 2000 so about 15 grand's worth of parts went into it, and that was a lot of modified stuff. Yeah, things that I believe I could do better than Land Rover. So this is a fantastic vehicle to drive. Haven't really hammered it off-road because, you know, it's not mine now. But I certainly would have kept it for myself. I like the look, the white with the dark coloured. They're not actually black, they're like a dark grey. But anyone thinking about doing up a vehicle, a Disco 3 is certainly something. They're also off-road anyway. And it's just that less amount of rubbish that they just don't have compared to a Discovery 4. You know, things aren't beeping at you and carrying on. You can just basically jump in this thing and drive it. All right, that's about it. You don't see many Discovery 3s in this good a condition that have had this much work done on them. But I think it's well worth doing. All right, well, that's about all I've got for you. There you go. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.